The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Financial literacy on Triad today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another episode of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the beautiful Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. We'll tell you more about the garden later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up. We'll get into all sorts of strange things with those guys, so stay tuned for that. But where we want to start is talking with two good friends of the program. They've both been on here many times before, and we're always glad to see them. Atticus Simpson, Executive Director of the Triad Foundation and Government Affairs for Triad Federal Credit Union, and my good friend Phyllis Caldwell-George, President and CEO of Financial Pathways of the Piedmont. Good to see y'all.
Good to be seen.
Good to see you. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, Phyllis, hold on just a second. I want to go to Atticus first. Now, we've talked about the Triad Foundation many times on the program, but it seems like the foundation is a little different now. Is that my imagination? Or?
No, you're not imagining things. That's correct. And so the foundation is a little bit different. We're still going to be doing the same work, but we have been recognized now by the IRS with our old 501c3. So we're an independent entity of Triad, but still doing the charitable work on behalf of the credit union. But we are now the Triad Foundation, and we're official.
All right. So instead of just being a division under the bank, you're separate now. Are you going to be supporting different types of organizations than you were before, or will it be the same, or what?
It'll still be very similar. We're still going to be there to support Triad's commitment to the community and their social responsibility to give back to the communities that we serve. So that will stay the same, and we'll continue to do charitable giving based on our focus areas. Like, for example, financial wellness. That's something that's not going to go away. That will be a main tenet of what we're doing, and it gives us great comfort because we get to partner with great organizations like Financial Pathways and great leaders like Phyllis.
Did you see how you slipped right into that, Phyllis?
I like it.
Hey, Phyllis, people have seen you on the media many times before, but remind everybody about the mission of Financial Pathways of the Piedmont. Sort of capsulize that for me.
So, yes, the organization has been around since 1972, and everything we do is really about improving the financial health of our community. We do that with financial counseling, coaching, and financial education.
Now, there was an email, Phyllis, I think you sent it to me, and it said, it mentioned something called Pathways to Savings Program, Pathways to Savings. What is that all about? Who does it help, and what services comes under that?
Yeah, and so that particular program comes from learning. What we have been able to identify is that oftentimes when clients come into our office, they just don't have emergency savings. And because the primary demographic of our clients are really of females, we identify that they do not have money when something happens. The car breaks down, something happens in the home, and that can really be a disruption to their finances. So we created this program just from learning, and we've been very fortunate where we're able to have a program where clients are saving, they're actually able to get financial education, they're receiving financial coaching, and then their savings, and they're developing saving habits.
Now, how long have you been doing this particular program?
So we've had this program. This will be our third round of this particular program, so it's still fairly new.
Have you been able to determine feedback or successes if you're on the right track?
Yes, I think we know exactly what we're doing here.
Well, that's you. You're one up on me. I've been at this for 54 years, and I still don't know what I'm doing.
It has been a wonderful program because, again, people are able to realize, I am able to save, and then as a result of that, then we're able to match those funds 2-to-1, and we're being fortunate enough to have funding from Triad, and so they save $250, and then those funds are matched with $500. So you have $750 in savings, which is great for someone who didn't have any money at all.
Absolutely, and it all falls under the mission. Even though you have a new structure, it falls under what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's right in line with what we're doing with the foundation. And financial wellness we kind of feel like is a staple to the community's well-being. And so this is just one way that we can be involved, and one way we can support a great organization like that.
All right, up on the screen, I want to do a couple things. Financialpaths.org is the website for Phyllis's organization. Financialpaths.org. I really urge you to check that out. And if you want more information about Triad Foundation, you go to TriadFCU/foundation. TriadFCU/foundation. I hope you will check that out. To both of you public servants, thanks for all you do. I'm serious about that. I know we know each other, we kid around, but you both provide such great services, and thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive.
And we know you will make a difference wherever you go.
UNCG. Find your way here.
Here's a sad fact. In the last presidential election, over 81 million people didn't even bother to show up and vote. So it's important to register. Right, Key?
Absolutely, but one of the most important part of it is education. Education is key to this election. Educating you on the policies that the candidates are talking about. Educating you on the candidates and issues, so please get educated.
This is brought to you by Ground Game Innovations. Right now on Triad today, and I have two great folks to talk with right now. One, a good friend, I've known her for many years, and we have a special guest I'm just now meeting. On my right, a friend, Melissa Hyatt, Executive Director of United Fund of Surrey, and Melissa's special guest today, Fortino Ruiz. He's chairman of the Greater Granite Open, and we're going to hold him in abeyance for a little bit and talk about that. But I'm going to spend some time first with Melissa, but welcome to both of you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Melissa, let's remind people, what's the mission of United Fund of Surrey, and what kind of area do you serve?
Our mission is to serve our community residents by meeting their needs. We do that by providing financial support and resources to our member agencies that provide human services programming in Surrey County.
It's a very diverse number of agencies. We've had a lot of the representatives on here on the show before that you brought on, and doing so much great work throughout the community in their various services, helping all families and women and children and everything, doing great work. Hey, now the campaign, I want to get an update from you. Tell me how well things went on last year's campaign and what your goal is for this year.
Okay, we finished out that campaign the end of March. The goal for it was $550,000. We raised about $557,000. So our goal for this year is $575,000.
Wow, that's great. I think you'll make it.
I think we will.
Because people are very supportive up and around Surrey County with that. Hey, now look, I think it's important for people to know that when we're talking about a fundraising thing, this is the heart and soul of everything. I mean, you really rely on people making donations like that, but you also have special fundraising events, right?
Yes. We have one coming up very soon, the Greater Granite Open.
The Greater Granite Open. Now, that's what I want to talk about, and I'm going to go to Fortino on this. Now, we're talking about fundraisers, and this is a good thing. What's this whole Greater Granite Open thing about? Because people say GGO, that was the kind of name of the old Greensboro one. What's this all about?
Yep, so the Greater Granite Opening is going to be in Friday, October the 11th at the Cross Creek Country Club in Mount Airy.
Right.
So we will play 2 flights, morning tee off and then an afternoon.
I usually get teed off in the afternoon, but that's a marital thing.
Yeah.
Are you expecting, what are you laughing at? Are you expecting a big crowd?
Yeah, we got spots for 240 golfers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, are you a golfer?
A little bit.
So you're going to participate?
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I mean, now I got a serious question though. Do you have to be like a really great golfer to get into this, or?
So anyone can sign up a team of 4. Go ahead and register 4, and then we encourage all levels.
Right,
of
just to have
golfers
fun,
come join
right?
us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna have refreshments and stuff out there for everybody?
Yeah, there'll be refreshments.
Now, what's the cost to play? I mean, if I want to have a foursome, or can I just sign up for myself, or how does that work?
You can register a team of 4 for $500,
Okay.
or an individual can register for $150, and we'll put them with a team.
Now, I think I read on an email you sent me something about sponsorship.
Yes, we have sponsorships for anybody's budget, starting at $100 whole sign up to $5,000 of a presenting sponsor.
Wow, okay. And so a corporation, even if they don't have anybody that can play golf, they can be a sponsor, but it's even better if they have somebody that can play golf
Yeah,
too.
we do really cool things with our sponsors that don't have folks that play golf. We ask them to donate their team to a local high school golf team.
Really?
Yes.
That's a nice gesture. That
Yes.
really is. Now, I think I know the answer to this, but how are the proceeds from this going to be used?
These go into our general campaign fund toward that $575,000, which in turn goes right back out into the community of Surrey to serve our residents.
Right. I think this is great. I'm going to put something up on screen here that Fortino was talking about. You gave the dates and stuff, and I want to make sure people see this. Greater Granite Open, Friday, October the 11th, Cross Creek Country Club in Mount Airy. You can go for more information to unitedfundofsurrey.org. That's unitedfundofsurrey.org. And we didn't rehearse this, but how did you get involved in all this, Fortino?
So I work at Altec, and trying to do things for the community and stuff like that. So
Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
it does. It really does.
Well, I'm glad you're here to help out.
Well, thank you.
Looking forward
That's great.
to it. Are you going to play golf that day?
Oh, no, I work the entire day. No golfing for
You're
me.
working. You're working the whole time. All right. Thanks for everything y'all are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today is now streaming on WFMY Plus, available free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV.
Spartans are the teachers, artists, nurses, scientists, and leaders who build our communities.
Back now on Triad Today, and always glad when we can spend a few minutes every couple of months or so talking with the good folks from Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care. We have two fine folks now that have something really neat to talk about, I think is important. And on my immediate right, Clara Ohlert is Executive Director of Inpatient Units for the Waltz and CQ Hospice Homes, and she brought along her partner. Tim Darnell is Manager of Patient Transport for Mountain Valley Hospice, and we welcome both of you. Claire, let me start with you. We want to talk about an ambulance. I think we even have a picture of this when I talk with Tim in a minute. But it's not just a regular service that you're doing because if you're a hospice patient, let's say you could be at home or whatever. What is the purpose of this, what you describe as a convalescent ambulance? What is that all about? What do you do?
It is an ambulance that we can transport our patients to and from the hospice home to home. So if you're having an acute issue and it can't be monitored at home or treated at home, we have our special transport that can safely bring you from your home into the hospice home where we can treat that condition.
Okay. And is there a fee for this? So you're already under hospice care. Maybe you're at home. You've got a condition that's being looked after. You have this acute episode. You get in the ambulance. Do you get charged extra for that? Is there a fee?
No, it's part of the hospice benefit.
All right,
that we
Tim,
offer.
let me turn to you. Now, where all do you take patients, and where do you not take them? What kind of places?
We will transport patients to and from their home, or we can actually go into the hospital and transfer them from the hospital to their home or to the IPU. We don't do like doctor's visits. That's something that is handled by someone else.
Okay.
We just want to make sure our truck's available for our patients if they need services at the house.
All right, let's talk about the folks that ride with you and drive for you. Is there any medical training for transport staff, or do you just have to have a driver's license? What do you go to?
All of our transporters are certified North Carolina EMTs. That is a requirement for the state, actually, to transport patients. They do their regular EMT training, and then we'll actually train them a little further when we get there as far as how to deal with our clientele.
Right. And so you have now how many do you have on your crew now?
I have 8. I have 4 full-times, and then I have 4 part-times.
Okay. I guess the last thing I want to ask the two of you is sort of put you on the spot about what's personally gratifying to you about your job, especially since just met both of you today. What do you get out of your job, Clara?
Well, I'm a nurse by trade, and I think that hospice care embodies like the full realm of what nursing should be, which is taking care of mind, body, spirit, and family. So it really just fulfills me in my like true nursing love.
Yeah, and you talk about family. Hospice really does a great job with working with families, as the whole family, and whether you're in one of the hospice homes or being treated at home, really giving family support. And you have a good team of volunteers too, right?
Great team.
Yeah. Now, Tim, what about you? What do you get out of?
Well, to be honest, both my parents were hospice patients.
So were mine. Yeah.
And this is a way for me to give back a little bit. I've been with EMS for several years, and this is just an opportunity for me to, like I said, help those who helped me, and then help our families and help our patients. and we get to know our patients. It's not one, I'm not transporting them one time. I'm usually transporting them several times. So I get to know them and they become our families.
Right. And you know, Claire, before time runs out, since Tim mentioned with his parents and my parents too, you know, it's so important to not be afraid to call and ask for help and call hospice, you know, because there are people, they'll wait too long, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. We're always available 24 hours a day. You can call any of our facilities, our numbers. We always answer.
Yeah. Well, that just led me into this then. Let's show on screen. mtnvalleyhospice.org is the website, and you'll see the phone numbers you can call. They have a couple different offices around in the area, and of course, 2 hospice homes. To Claire and Tim, I really appreciate what the 2 of you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Back now on Triad today as we do a segment about High Point Theater. I'm sort of sentimental because usually I turn to my right and I say, we welcome Mr. Theater Dave Briggs. And yet, as you can see, we have the lovely and talented Rokia Worthy, who's a communications specialist for City of High Point. You've been on before, you know, the audience knows you and everything, but you know, I had that tendency to just look over and say, well, where's Dave? So let's remind people he's retired.
He is, yes. Dave retired at the end of June after 13 amazing years being with the theater, bringing patrons together, artists, the community as a whole. But it was time and he was ready, even though we weren't ready. We miss him, but we're also happy for him.
Yeah, and he started his own consulting business, and I think he's going to work with other theaters to work out things. But now you have an interim for now, right?
Yes, Casey Woody. She's our box office manager. She's been at the theater for 25 years, has her hand in everything. So, yeah, she's doing a great job in this transition and making sure we have what we need and vice versa.
And then sometime we'll be able to report to you. We'll have Rokia on the show, and at some point in the future, we'll know who the new permanent manager is, and we'll talk about them. Hey, let's talk about the new season. Are you excited about it?
Yes, we're excited. It's actually a short season, but we're really excited about it. One thing I think we've gotten a knack for at the theater, we love to infuse our family favorites, or those that people are familiar with our newcomers and throwing in some classics as well. So it's an eclectic mix, and we have different artists, but we always have the same goal, and that's for everybody to come and have a good time and have fun.
Oh, yeah. And because the things that you have promoted and Dave has been involved with for so many years, you're right. I mean, there seems like to be something for everybody.
It really is. We don't want to leave anyone out. So all generations are welcome to come and just enjoy themselves.
All right, now let's go over a few of the shows coming up, and I want you to tell me a little bit about these people because I don't know that much about some of them. Killer Bees, that's spelled B-E-A-Z.
Yes.
That's for Friday, September the 20th. What's that all about?
So he is he's very legendary in the comedy industry. He's been around, I think he has 4 decades under his belt. He is no stranger to the Grand Ole Opry stage, so we're excited to welcome him on our stage. So we're looking forward to having him there.
All right. Now, coming up on Thursday, September 26th, Tannehill Weavers. We have mentioned them on the program before, and I think it's important also just to note, because sometimes people think, oh, well, the theater only opens on, weekends or something.
Yeah.
Here's a Thursday show, because you guys, there's something going on all the time.
All
even
the
with
time.
Other community organizations and a ballet here and this, so a lot of things going on.
Absolutely.
Because people can actually rent the facility for their organization, right?
They can. They definitely can. So it's not just for a theater. If it's for anything else, we're ready to welcome you for it.
Absolutely. So, all right. So on Thursday, September 26th, Tannehill Weavers. Remind us what that's all about.
So they're an international name. They're a world premier Celtic band, and they also have a great knack of fusing things together. So they mix a little bit of traditional music with modern rhythms, and you just get a taste of Scotland right here in High Point.
Yeah, you got green on. You kind of look Scottish today.
I'm already ready for
it.
Yeah,
that's right. Rokia Worthy from Scotland is on our show. I don't know. Where were you born? I've never.
Originally from Syracuse, New York, so upstate.
You're a Yankee.
I am.
That's all right. We'll let you keep coming on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, help me pronounce this. Is it Scythian?
Scythian.
Scythian.
Yes.
I messed that up. SCYTHIAN. That's on Friday, September 27th. What the heck is that?
I know the name is very interesting, and the band is as well. They're named after Ukrainian nomads. And so they also have a Celtic sound as well, and it's infused with some Eastern Europe and Appalachian traditional music.
Did you say
energy.
Ukrainian nomads?
Yeah, I had to do my research, but yeah.
You're not making this up.
I am not, yeah.
Ukrainian nomads mixed with Appalachian.
Yeah, and Celtic, so you get a little bit of everything in one. They're very high energy. It's almost like a Celtic rock concert experience. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's interesting. All right, what I want to do is put up on screen the website, which I love. Rokia, oversaw this whole restructuring some time ago, and I've loved it ever since, highpointtheater.com. Remember, there's 2 T's when you type that in, highpointtheater.com, and it gives you all sorts of detailed information about all the acts. Because we can only say a few seconds about each one here, but you can get a lot of information on that. But here's the big thing. Sometimes there are ticket scammers here and there, whatever. The real deal is to call the box office, 336-887-3001. That's where you get the best deals on real tickets for the High Point Theater. Rokia, thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure, Jim.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Back now on Triad today, just about time for the roundtable with a quick shout out to the good folks here at Senior Botanical Garden. Check out the website, come visit the garden. There's great things to see. And I hope you'll consider this a great thing to see. On my right, but always political left, Ogie Overman, and the beautiful Rosemary Plymouth, the great broadcaster, legendary broadcaster in this area, Keith Cranberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. All right, guys, Davie County officials have had to strengthen security measures at the main library because people are threatening and assaulting library staff. Why, you may ask? Because the public library carries books with LGBTQ themes. In general, are you okay with a main public library offering gay-themed books? We're not talking about an elementary school. We're talking about the main public library. Okay.
I'm more than happy that they're doing that. That's just sickening that they can't carry books that they want to because of these narrow-minded troglodytes.
And they'll come in there and they're hiding the books, too. And then they assaulted one of the women with a car. Rosemary, what do you think?
I mean, you can find books on anything in the library. Definitely things that we all disagree with that are in the library, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, Keith.
Library has to be a place where you can find books of all kind, and I think that the people who are doing that are supposed to be church-minded people, and I think that's just terrible.
This fall, voters in North Dakota will decide whether to abolish property taxes. Now, is that a good idea? And if so, would you like to see this happen in North Carolina? Abolish property taxes, Ogie.
It's kind of a pipe dream. Where's the revenue going to come from with that property taxes? What kind of services can you offer with that property tax?
Well, that's the rub of the whole thing. Rosemary.
Well, of course, they're already thinking about how they're going to pay for certain things and imposing different fees. So it's really just hiding it in different ways. And so I think it's a bad idea to go down that road without a plan on the front end, at least.
Gee.
I think they probably have a plan. I think they've already determined where the extra money is going to come from, and they're going to tax them in some other way. Mm-hmm. And make it seem like they're doing them a favor.
Yeah, shift it
political theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In reaction to a growing mental health crisis among young people, the U.S. Surgeon General is calling for warning labels to be displayed on social media sites, like they would do on tobacco cigarette packages. Social media companies are mad. They say they oppose this. They say parents should be responsible for monitoring their child's use of the internet. Now, whose side are you on this, the Surgeon General or the social media companies?
Well, I saw that when the Surgeon General announced this, and I thought, well, how are they going to enforce this? But apparently there's an enforcement mechanism in place to do this because parents clearly aren't doing it. I mean, let's face it, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of on neither side on this because I don't see that is going to make a difference. I think some better education campaigns out there is a better idea. A warning label, I mean, you just scroll right past it. It's not going to do a thing.
Gee.
Warning labels are going to make them want to do it more. When you're a teenager, when you see a warning label, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to see you want to do more. So I think that parents cannot monitor kids on the internet. It's impossible. But I think you're going to have to be able to utilize it in a different manner.
Are you speaking from experience that as a young man, if somebody told you no, you would just... Okay. All right.
Never heard you so quiet.
I know it. He just shut me up on that, but I didn't say anything.
America has the longest presidential campaigns in the world. I mean, you know, you're talking 2 or more years on presidential campaigns. Australia's is only 68 days long. Let me read a note here. Canada's 50 days. France, 14 days long. Japan, 12 days for a presidential campaign. Guys and gals, would you like to see Congress limit the length of our presidential campaigns, Ogie?
I really would. I think that day might come. I mean, 6 months is more than enough. Plenty.
I mean, some people would say you've got more time to educate people.
No, you can do it in 6 months, easy.
6 months for you. All right, so Ogie votes for 6 months. Rosemary, analyze
I mean, we're doing it shorter this year, for sure.
Well, by accident.
Yeah, by accident. But I mean, do people feel less informed? I don't think so. I think people just get tired and start to tune it out because they're so long right now. So definitely shorter.
Now, Keith, let's talk about you being on the road a lot, trying to get people registered. You educate people all the time about the importance of voting. So is there a conflict there if you shorten it? Do we not have time for people like you to help get people registered? Or?
Well, I do more of the educational policy development, and I think it should be longer. And the reason I'm saying that, it's not just the presidential campaign, and people need to know who they're voting for. So I think the election season allows people who are not known to get known based on all of the publicity and social media, and it gives them an opportunity to bring people in who's going to make a change. So I think it should be a little longer.
Should be, but do you have a time period in mind?
I mean, what they're doing now, I mean, as soon as the election is over with, they usually start the next election within a year. And I'm telling you, you need that when you're trying to vet people who are going to change your life. I know people want it shorter, but you need someone to educate them. And many people, specifically in the rural communities, are getting misinformation all the time, and you have to get out there and educate them.
All right, good point. Finally, Costco is selling doomsday dinners. That's what they call them, doomsday, with food that will last for 25 years in case of a nuclear war or something. Guys and gals, would you eat food that is 25 years old, Ogie?
Well, I mean, if I'm holed up in a fallout shelter, I probably would, but otherwise, probably not.
Rosemary, if you had that on the shelf, it's 25 years old, would you eat it?
I mean, are we going to have water? Because you have to have water to rehydrate this stuff. So there's a conundrum there, but I'm sort of curious. I don't know.
Keith, would you eat food that's 25 years old?
I wouldn't, but I think those hamburgers that you fed me at your last Christmas party was about 25. They were fresh. They felt like they were 25 years old.
They were fresh, and that's the last time you're coming to my house.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. CNN.com just released a study, and this is a true story. It's the do's and don'ts of what happens if you go to a nude beach. And one thing they said, do not, under any circumstances, don't stare and don't take any photographs. So what's the point, said Ogie?
He's doing both of them, I'll tell you that.
We'll see you next week.